Monoxide safety event. First and foremost, I would like to thank the group of safety experts who are involved with our event today. Kingston Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Donaldson, Fire Inspector Del Blakeney, John Gennak from the Hawkins Gennak Foundation for the Carbon Monoxide Education, and TSSA's Stu Seaton, Investigator of Fuel Safety, and John Ward from First Alert. I'm really glad to be here today with this group of individuals, all of whom are so incredibly dedicated to public safety. TSSA is Ontario's provincial regulator for fuel safety, so I'm particularly honored to be here today as we join forces with like-minded, focused safety partners. This event is another gratifying reflection of TSSA's mantra and recognition that safety is a shared responsibility. As TSSA transitions toward becoming a modernized, outcome-based regulator, our focus is on safety outcomes, and our goal is to use our expertise and strong partnerships to achieve positive safety outcomes for the people of Ontario. We use data to understand risk and to shape our approach to safety oversight. Data informs how we develop programs, such as our carbon monoxide public education campaign, to ensure we target risk and reduce harm. Our mission at TSSA is to enhance safety in Ontario, where people live, work, and play. To do this, it's often a matter of teamwork. That means working with other safety partners like fire and emergency services to manage incidents as they occur and to learn from them. We want to find ways to prevent and reduce the likelihood of incidents repeating themselves in the future. Some of the ways TSSA aims to reduce accidents is by registering contractors and certifying tradespeople who install and service equipment. Equipment is safe, but only when it is installed and maintained by workers who are current with all safety codes and standards and are aware of the proper safety procedures and precautions. In addition, TSSA develops public safety programs such as this one, our Working Together in Our Community Think Safe public education campaign. We aim to bring attention to potentially harmful situations in which human behavior is a primary root cause of serious, life-threatening incidents. Today, we are talking about carbon monoxide exposure. In Ontario, more than 65% of all injuries and deaths due to carbon monoxide have occurred in homes due to a lack of regular maintenance of fuel-burning appliances. While Ontario is among the safest regions in Canada, TSSA is fully committed to continually raising awareness of potential safety risks and ways to prevent them. Thank you for being part of this discussion today. This campaign is one of many. Working together with our safety partners, our goals are clear. We want to raise people's awareness of the risks associated with carbon monoxide in people's homes and enhance their understanding of the actions they can take to protect themselves and their families. The approach is straightforward. Inspections of fuel-burning appliances by TSSA certified fuel technicians and regular testing of certified carbon monoxide alarms. The campaign will run for 2 weeks from March 15th to 30th in various communities across Eastern Ontario. Residents can expect to receive life-saving details about carbon monoxide exposure delivered directly to their mailboxes and through advertising and local media. I'd like to thank Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Donaldson, Fire Inspector Del Blakeney, and Hawkins Gennak Foundation CO Education and First Alert for their support in kicking off this important community safety initiative. A special thanks to all members of fire services in Kingston and beyond for their tireless efforts in keeping our residents safe in all ways, carbon monoxide included. My hope is that this campaign heightens awareness in your community and influences behaviors that will ultimately save lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Bonnie Rose, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Technical Standards and Safety Authority. And now what I'm going to do is call on Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Donaldson to say a few remarks. He should be coming up to the podium now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Can everybody hear me okay?
Perfect.
Great, great. Well, thank you very much for this opportunity and welcome to everybody that's joining us today. Kingston Fire and Rescue is pleased to partner with TSSA, the Hawkins Gennak Foundation, and First Alert to educate City of Kingston residents about the dangers of carbon monoxide and the importance of maintaining fuel burning equipment. Keeping our communities safe is a shared responsibility by all of us, and it's Kingston Fire and Rescue's responsibility to provide public education and to respond to emergencies. And it's the individual's responsibility to ensure they have working carbon monoxide and smoke alarms installed in their residence. Early detection and notification of carbon monoxide in fire conditions and carbon monoxide conditions alerts people to call 911 and exit the home safely. Carbon monoxide and fire fatalities can be prevented if we all continue to work together. In the last 5 years, Kingston Fire and Rescue has responded to 1,125 calls for service involving carbon monoxide. Many of those calls, we often detected dangerous levels of carbon monoxide that could have resulted in serious injury or death without the presence of carbon monoxide alarms. The hard work by the Hawkins Gennak Foundation to introduce legislation requiring carbon monoxide alarms in all required homes and promoting carbon monoxide awareness has saved countless lives, and for that we thank you. Thanks to the ongoing work of many dedicated people, all are becoming more aware of the importance of maintaining and checking fuel burning equipment, which reduces carbon monoxide in our homes. Kingston Fire and Rescue welcomes any opportunity to participate in this public education and awareness campaign promoting carbon monoxide safety awareness. Thank you very much.
That was great. Thank you, Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Donaldson, for those remarks. And now what I'm going to do is pass it over to our other special guest, John Gennak. And as I call him up to the podium, and so everybody can see him on their screen.
Everybody can hear me?
We can hear you very well. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Alexandra. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to participate on this panel today. I want to thank Deputy Chief Donaldson and Bonnie Rose from TSSA for hosting this virtual event. We are all here to help Kingston area residents stay safe from the risks of carbon monoxide. For me, the issue of carbon monoxide safety is very personal. As a firefighter with the Brantford Fire Department for 34 years, I responded to countless emergencies, both fire and carbon monoxide related. However, none of them prepared me for the loss of 4 family members in December 2008 from carbon monoxide poisoning. My niece Lori Hawkins, an OPP officer in Woodstock, her husband Richard, and their 2 children, Cassandra and Jordan, all died when a block chimney vent forced deadly gas from their fireplace back into their homes. They did not have a carbon monoxide alarm. I know what you're thinking. As a firefighter, I should have made sure they had a CO alarm. And you're right. That haunts me to this day. But you know what? I didn't have one either. Back in 2008, there wasn't much awareness of carbon monoxide and the deadly consequences of the poisonous gas. That horrible accident inspired me to create the Hawkins Gennak Foundation for Carbon Monoxide Education, both to honor Lori's memory and to do my best to make sure that no other family ever has to endure the suffering that my family has, especially from something so preventable. Since its inception, the foundation has committed to public education and awareness campaigns right across the country. We will not stop until every Canadian is protected from the silent killer. As you may know, there's a reason carbon monoxide is called the silent killer. Humans can't see it, smell it, or taste it. A working CO alarm is the only way to detect the poisonous gas. In this country, there are hundreds of emergency room visits due to non-fatal exposure to carbon monoxide each year, and more than 50 reported deaths due to CO. These are senseless losses of life that can be prevented by homeowners who take 2 simple steps. Number 1, have all fuel burning appliances inspected and maintained every year by a TSSA certified technician. Number 2, Install approved carbon monoxide alarms outside all sleeping areas and test and replace them per manufacturer's directions. My niece Lori served her entire career in public safety. Even in her passing, she continues to bring focus on the love and resilience of family and attention to the importance of carbon monoxide alarms. I know Lori wants me, with your help, to continue carbon monoxide education. I can't change what happened to my family, but I can help make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. I often feel Lori tapping me on the shoulder encouraged me to go on. This is Lori's legacy, and events like this, even virtual ones, are critical in raising and maintaining awareness of dangers of carbon monoxide. Thanks again to Deputy Chief Donaldson and the entire Kingston Fire and Rescue team for their great work, and to Bonnie Rose, Alexandra, and everyone at TSA for their leadership and excellence direct mail campaigns to educate homeowners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Gennak from the Hawkins Gennak Foundation, and for sharing that difficult story, but very important story, so we can all learn and continue to promote carbon monoxide awareness. And now we're going to ask Stu Seaton. I'm going to call him up to the podium, which really means I'm searching for his name and the participants here. Stu Seaton is an investigator with the Technical Standards and Safety Authority, and like many of the first responders here, often has to attend these types of events. Stu.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for joining us. First, I'd like to say how much I appreciate the tremendous work that all of the fire and emergency services people who work so hard every day to keep us all safe. Their efforts and all those frontline workers over the past year demonstrate how committed they are to the health and safety of Ontarians. I also want to thank John, the Hawkins Gennak Foundation, for their endless hard work and passion that they devote towards carbon monoxide safety. John's story is so compelling and tragically emphasizes why we are here today. Carbon monoxide is a leading cause of accidental poisoning in Ontario every year, but together we can reduce the risks for our families and our loved ones. In my over 20 years of being involved in field safety, I have investigated far too many incidents involving carbon monoxide, and unfortunately, the majority have occurred in homes across Ontario, and most, if not all, could have been prevented through the inspection by certified fuels technicians. Let me give you just one example, and it unfortunately gets repeated in all too many homes far too often. One that happened not long ago resulted in me being called out to investigate an incident at a permanent mobile home in the Trent Hills area. Initial indications were strongly pointing to it being a carbon monoxide related fatality. Sure enough, and sadly, that was the case. This permanent mobile home had an attached sunroom with a normal cottage type furniture, including a large outdoor table. And the issue was a vinyl tablecloth which hung down from the table and partially covered the exhaust vent and air intake for the home's propane furnace. So when the deceased operated the furnace to dry out some damp cushions, the furnace, partially plugged by the tablecloth, produced a significant amount of carbon monoxide. In fact, over 4,000 ppm. Consider that sustained exposures, even at levels around 150 to 200 ppm, can cause serious health effects, including death. The gentleman was overcome in a matter of minutes and deceased at the scene. No carbon monoxide detector was found. Could have this been prevented? The simple answer is yes. Getting annual inspections and regular maintenance for fuel burning appliances, and that means all of them, not just your furnace, are essential to reduce risks like those that occurred in this incident. We all understand that our busy lives are challenging, and that all of us try to do our best. So it's not about assigning blame. It's about providing vital carbon monoxide safety information and reminding people about important safety routines that are critical to keeping them and their families safe. When it comes to carbon monoxide safety in our homes, we all have a role to play. It's a shared responsibility. I can tell you, my colleagues and I at TSSA come to work every day with one goal, and that's public safety. We'll do everything we can, but we need the help of Ontarians to beat the silent killer. It's about defense in depth. That is two things we all need to do. One, get that annual inspection by TSSA certified technicians, and two, install your certified carbon monoxide alarms and replace them as indicated by the manufacturer. Campaigns like this one recognize the need to provide key safety information to residents. I am honored to be involved today and to work alongside individuals like Kingston Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Donaldson, Fire Inspector Del Blakeney, and their department, John and his foundation, and First Alert. Please look for crucial carbon monoxide safety materials that will arrive in your mailboxes over the coming days. Thank you, and stay safe.
Thank you very much for that, Stu. And that was Stu Seaton, who is investigator with our organization, the Technical Standards and Safety Authority. Again, I want to thank, we're going to take questions in just a minute. Thank everybody who's joined today. We have Kingston Fire Department who's spoke, and a number of other fire departments have joined us from Brockville, Rideau Lakes, Loyalist Township, North Frontenac, Central Frontenac, Elizabethtown, Kitley Township. And I think what that demonstrates is how important this issue is to the communities that we're doing the direct mail campaign in, and how important it is to the fire services and the municipalities. We also have some guests here from the City of Kingston today. So thank you everybody for joining us for this important event and cause. I do also really want to thank John Ward, who's the technical expert joined us today from First Alert. And of course, they make carbon monoxide detectors and alarms. And thank you very much. After the questions too, we're going to have a presentation, a couple of short presentations, and hope everybody can stay for the duration of the meeting. But at this time, we're happy to have any of the speakers are happy to take your questions from the fire department, John Gennak, or any of us from the Technical Standards and Safety Authority. So I will give it a minute. Everybody can wait patiently, but do ask if someone has a question that they try and put the hand up function. It's the best way to do it. Okay. I'm not seeing any requests for questions at this moment, and we'll also be able to take questions at the end. And as well, of course, there's a media advisory and release with some contact information if there's anybody that's joined us today and media that want to follow up with questions after the fact. Of course, we're all available and really really keen to answer your questions and provide whatever information it is that you need. So again, thanks for John Ward from First Alert for joining us today. And John Gennak, I'm handing it over to you now to make a presentation of the alarms. Now your picture's a bit frozen, John.
Okay, can everybody still? I just lost you for a second there. At this time, I'd like to draw attention to the donations of First Alert carbon monoxide alarms being presented to Deputy Chief Donaldson. They were generously donated by first alert, Canada Kingston firefighters, it's not moving. Can provide them families in the community who might not otherwise be in a position to purchase a CO alarm themselves, especially in light of COVID-19. Thank you, First Alert. I'm happy to present these alarms to Chief Donaldson on your behalf.
And yeah, there's Donaldson holding up the alarms. John, your audio cut out a little bit. Do you mind just repeating the last part of what you said?
Okay. The firefighters in Kingston would like to protect their families in the community who might not otherwise be in position to purchase alarms themselves, especially in light of the COVID-19. Thank you, First Alert. I am happy to present them to Deputy Donaldson on your behalf.
Thank you very much. I'm going to hand it over now to the Kingston Fire Department. Bring them up on screen so everybody can see all of the alarms there, which is great. And I'll hand it over to you now, Deputy Fire Chief Davidson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gennak and First Alert. The City of Kingston, Kingston Fire and Rescue, and actually all of the fire chiefs within the Kingston, Frontenac, and Lennox and Addington mutual aid area wish to thank you for this generous donation, and very much appreciated. I'd like to introduce Inspector Delbert Blakeney.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fire Inspector Del Blakeney with Kingston Fire and Rescue, and I also have the pleasure of serving as one of the directors of the Ontario Municipal Fire Prevention Officers Association. And each year we have a gala dinner and we have an award ceremony. And unfortunately, due to COVID, we've not been able to do that. So I've asked if I could kind of hop in here for a moment with a little bit of a surprise. And in 2020, John Gennak and the Hawkins Gennak Foundation was nominated by one of our fire departments to receive the Jim Coplin Award. So it's my pleasure at this time to present John Gennak and the Hawkins Gennak Foundation with our 2020 Jim Coplin Award. This award recognizes significant contributions made to public education and life safety and in the community. And as a director sitting at the table of the Fire Prevention Officers Committee, we're all quite jealous of how successful the foundation has been in creating carbon monoxide awareness. We appreciate those efforts, and you're certainly leading the way, and TSSA as well is leading the way and showing us some ways perhaps that we can try to do a better job on educating the public on some other fire prevention initiatives as well. So thank you all for your leadership. And John, I'm very, very pleased. I've had the pleasure of meeting you a few times, and I hope that we'll have you at our next gala dinner and present this more formally. But we didn't want to wait any longer, and we're very, very pleased to present this award to you today. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very surprised and very appreciative. So thank you, Inspector Blakeney and the Fire Prevention Officers of Ontario. I am certainly surprised and humbled that our foundation has been singled out for this prestigious award. Educating Canadians about the carbon monoxide effort is certainly really a surprise to me. I'm a little stuck for words because I am so shocked at at being awarded this award, but I'm very appreciative. So thank you very much, and I proudly accept this award on behalf of everybody.
Well, it's absolutely our pleasure.
Efforts, and so thank you very much for it. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was great. Presentation of awards and then an award to John Gennak. So wonderful recognition. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining this morning, for helping us kick off the awareness blitz that we're doing in Kingston and surrounding areas. And again, for all the guests that joined us this morning, thanks very much. Again, we're available to take questions and provide information at any time. And with that, we'll sign off and wish everybody a good and a very safe week. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.